Hello, Cemetery Seekers!
Hello.
I have special guests today, Maddie and Baz.
Hello.
So we are at today Wilford Hill Cemetery Crematorium, whichever one you want to call it, because it's still an active crematorium. Behind us, you can see all of the graves, and all the way up this way as well. So it's apparently the highest point in Nottingham. So it is on a hill. We're going to go further up to the top and enjoy the views and older graves up there, because you know what I'm like. A lot of the ones that are down here are very new, so no disrespect, but we want the old stuff. And I'll tell you a bit of history about Wilford, but there's not much to say about this cemetery, to be honest, because it's still an active one. It's always been what it is now. So yes, as we're heading up the hill, look at this one, everyone. It has an actual travelling caravan on the top. So Margaret Peggy Sharp, what an amazing topper to your grave. So this is the crematorium itself. Up the top here, because we're at the absolute top of the hill now. So here we go, here's the view up here. It is wonderful. You can see the whole world. It's quite far away, so I'm not going to pinpoint a few places, but the oldest area is over here. So let's go have a look. Okay, who's this amazing tombage of Linday? The Linday vault. Crikey. Just they've got ceramic flowers. Let's step all the way back. Oh look, there's Matt and Baz next to it to show how big it is. So we've come to the back here where the trees are, and we have the resting place of Ruth Barbara. And she was only 18, died in 1919, but she was the first to be interred to this burial ground. But check out this for a memorial. We were just saying, if she was the first, were they going to do this with everybody, or was it just out of luck that she was the first, so she got a big jeebus on there? So yes, Wilford. So I was looking into the origin of the name of Wilford. It was known as the settlement of Willersford and was owned by William Peveril. Apparently it's Germanic in origin and separated into Will and Frid, which means willow and peace. So I guess there might have been a lot of willows around here, perhaps. Also, ford is the name for a shallow river. It is a Dutch word. So, because we're on a hill, there might have been one at the bottom. So, I did visit, in my Wilford Cemetery Seek, there was a ford there. So, perchance, you might want to see that there. We just came over here because we were trying to see if this was a grave. It's like a shroom. Some kind of shroom. But there's no name. So I don't know what that is. So this is really interesting here. They've just done, on this grave, the gold leaf. So the gold leaf will stay on there until they take it off, peel it away, and it'll end up like the other side. So I've never seen that. Just before leaving, look at this epic stone. There's a lot of writing on here, but we were drawn because, as Baz said, it's like Colossus, like X-Men, what's happening? When you look upon it more closely, it says, "Gently place a hand upon this stone and you will obtain good luck, great wisdom and fertility. No one will ever find their future in acquisitions, in love of life. We cannot own anything, it is only on loan to us. Therefore, the future of mankind depends on the reproduction into the future and on to infinitum, and we are left only with memories." So there's a big intro on that, and it does say that he was part of the Fellowship of the Services, the Brotherhood of Officers and Ex-Servicemen. So, if anybody knows who Alan George Thomas Rhodes is, who was a friend to all animals and a very gifted electrical mechanical engineer. Pretty epic stone, if you ask me. Grant me good luck and great wisdom. Okay, so that's about as much as I wish to show you here because it's still very active. There's fresh burials and people being interred all the time, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people that are visiting because there's people walking around on a Saturday visiting graves. I'm not going to go start filming if they're around. So we are now going to take the autobus to the next graveyard, which is one that somebody has suggested to me. So keep watching and find out which one is it, everybody. Hello all, we are at our second cemetery seek of the day. Yay. It is told to be Vicarage Lane Cemetery. I was told it was just the old cemetery, so maybe mark it as that. I'm sharing that knowledge in case anybody else wants to look for it. But look at this beautiful leafage here. It's incredible. So the main reason why I'm here, I'm going to try and obscure wind, but the main reason we are here is, first of all, may I have my book, please, Matty? I was actually told by one of my followers, Gaz Callan. He suggested that I should come to the old cemetery in Ruddington because I went to the new one, which is literally just over there. So here I am, I have found it. We had to kind of go to many different places and people to ask because we went down a side street that, as usual, Google Maps tells you, and it was padlocked. So we went to the Knitters Museum and lovely Jill told us about it. So thanks to her for telling us the way in, because we wouldn't have found in otherwise. So, onwards for graves! So, we've come here to find the 3 survivors of Rorke's Drift. Apparently they are amongst here somewhere. They are scattered about, so if we find them we do, if we don't we don't, either way. They did say that one was near the gate, which is just this way. This must have been the original entryway in, actually. Just looking as we walk. Because this was where we were going to come in. It's actually padlocked, so this probably might have been the original entry when there was a church here. There we go. That's where we were trying to get in. So let us venture and see if we can find any of these graves. Okay, I think I'm going to settle with one. If we find any others, that's great. So here we have Caleb Wood, who died in 1935, age 77. So he was a Rorke's Drift defender in the Zulu War in 1879. So if anybody else is looking, it's kind of near to the memorial garden. It is on the left-hand side. If we find any others, that's great, but I'm happy that we found one, so hooray! So I think we'll leave it at 2 because I really think the other one is a bit more harder. She said the gravestone wasn't in the best condition, but we found Robert Tong, Rorke's Drift defender, Zulu Wars. There we go. They were hidden right in this corner. In case anybody's looking, come from main path, go around here to this big tree, and they're facing towards the tree. From here we are now going to find the lost village. Why is it lost, you ask? Well, it used to have a church there, but the church got destroyed and there's only foundations there, and apparently broken headstones. So I found that when I was actually looking for this cemetery, because it said that it was called Old Cemetery, which is not, it's Vicarage Lane Cemetery, just in case anybody else is looking for it. But onwards from there, I was like, oh, what's this about some broken headstone photographs? And that was where this was. So we're going to walk there now, and I will see what we find when we get there. Who knows? Will it be a lost village? Will it be haunted? Will it be scary? I don't know. But we'll only find out when we get there, everyone. Come on! Baz just pointed out, we were just leaving as we were filming that, and you were like, look, it's the other one! So here we go. The last Defender of Hawkesbury. We found all three. It's at the tree arch for anybody that's looking. So, thanks, bro, you found it. Here we go. So we made it to, obviously, once upon a time, St. Peter's Church was here. I'm going to walk straight to the centre because there's a plaque here commemorating it, and lots of broken headstones. So I'd say it's about half an hour's walk down Flawford Lane, and just when you get to the bend, there is parking there if anyone drives, but yes, here we go. We have a wonderful memorial for it. So Church of St. Peter of Flawford. On this site stood the ancient mother church of St. Peter, built around 800 AD to serve the 5 surrounding villages. The outline of the building is marked out in the darker stone. The lighter stone shows the shape of the medieval church. The church was demolished in 2 phases in 79 and 84. This plaque is dedicated to the memory of Sue Soothers, who contributed to the Flawford project, whoever that is. But we've got the old gravestones over here, some over here. So let's have a look at the gravestones now. We've made it. There's a rather big slate here. As you can see, it's all damaged at the top. 1731. And 2 others over here. What's going over here, bro?
1879, was it 1779 or something? No, 1719.
That's right, yep. You got it.
1719.
And the edge all damaged there.
18th century. Yes.
Putimus. Let's go check this guy out. Oh my goodness. Look at the top. Look at the, like, hands and weird demon feet. So, the year on here, 1743 and 5. Wow. So now, since the turning, this once was St. Peter's Church. So thank you guys for coming with me and commemorating this visit, both of you.
Yay.
Because it was a lot of fun to actually walk along
Adventure.
a dual carriageway, as is adventures all the time. But the weather's going to change now, so I think light is also disappearing, as will we. Bye everybody! We came to Ruddington and we had a ruddy good time!